NONI Madueke agreed personal terms with Arsenal on a 5-year contract after being convinced by Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta about their project. Club-to-club negotiations took place between Chelsea and Arsenal representatives, and on Saturday, NONI was agreed to leave the Chelsea camp for the Club World Cup before he could even play the final, to travel back to England and have a medical before his £52 million transfer from Chelsea to Arsenal could be completed. Recall, NONI Madueke joined Chelsea from PSV on a £28 million deal 2.5 years ago, and now Chelsea could make up to £24 million in profit on the England international right winger. Welcome to the channel, welcome to the new video. My name is Wilbur. Today I'm going to be giving my honest opinion on NONI Madueke's transfer from Chelsea to Arsenal. The fee is said to be around £50 million, £48 million guaranteed fee, and 4 in add-ons. NONI Madueke joined Chelsea 2.5 years ago from PSV in the oven in the Dutch Eredivisie. He has become important for the Chelsea squad, recording up to 90 appearances in less than 3 seasons. It means he's been vital. Actually, even their recent tournament, the Club World Cup, he has played all the 5 games so far. NONI last season scored 6 goals in the Premier League, of course 3 of which came in a 6-2 win against Wolves. So it means out of the 32 appearances he had for Chelsea in the Premier League last season, he only scored in 4 games. So it means his output wasn't as fine. But of course you can blame that on the style of play of Chelsea. The wingers are required to track back and defend. It means by the time they do the attacking, the defenders or the defensive players of the opposing team would have already taken their places back, and that makes it harder for the wingers of Chelsea to contribute goal-wise. But aside that, he also managed to do some impressive work, and that's why Arsenal are going in for him. Last season, NONI Madueke averaged 3.5 shots per game across the season, and that's the most of any winger in the league, beating the likes of Mo Salah and even the man he will be competing for a place with Bukayo Saka. Also, his progressive carries are not bad. He was only beaten by, I think, only Jeremy Doku of Manchester City had more, and that makes him a good prospect for Arsenal. Plus, his wages are not that high. He was on 50 grand at Chelsea, so Arsenal can easily match that or even beat it. He faces competition, of course, from Bukayo Saka. We know him is NONI Madueke's most productive of that right wing, and there Bukayo Saka as the press. Plus, NONI is mostly available throughout the season. He has never gotten injured, so maybe a reliable, always available player is what Mikel Arteta looked for. What of course sparked controversy was the transfer fee, but given that Chelsea paid £28 million for him, and he had 5 years left on his contract, and Chelsea had an additional year on his fee to extend, so you had to pay what Chelsea wanted. Plus, he was a vital player for their project. He played 32 matches last season in the Premier League alone. It shows you that he is an important player. How does he add to the Arsenal score? Does he improve them? Maybe that's the question. Of course, he is just 23 years old, and with the time, maybe, and with the Arsenal's approach where the wingers are given more freedom up front, maybe I can see NONI Madueke becoming an important player for Arsenal. If Bukayo Saka is not available, yeah, he can fill that place. Also, when it comes to rotating the squad, he can provide exactly that. Plus, he played 7 matches as a left winger for Chelsea last season. So maybe when needed on the left wing, even though he didn't score a goal or record an assist on that side, he can provide cover there as well. And you can't rule out the possibility that within the coming seasons, Arsenal might have to sell Bukayo Saka. It's been like 4 seasons Arsenal are trying to win the league and they are getting nothing. So for a player like Bukayo Saka, with the time, he might think about leaving, and so grooming replacement while you still have the man himself might be a good approach. So that's what I think Arsenal might be thinking the other way around. As a Chelsea fan, what do I think about NONI Madueke? Of course, recently Chelsea have sold without fear so many players to Arsenal. They have already sold Kepa Arrizabalaga for £5 million this season. Last season we saw Raheem Sterling going there on loan. It didn't work out well, but he was there. The previous season, Kai Havertz went there. He had a great season. He had a great start to the second season, but he got injured along the way. But still, he is a player you can say that Arsenal do not regret signing. And then 6 months before that, they had signed Jorginho. Other players like William Borges and David Luiz have been in the same footsteps too. And yeah, this is a move that should no longer scare us. Plus, Chelsea are currently signing a lot of players, and all of them won't play for Chelsea. It will never happen. If you look at the wing roles for Chelsea at the moment, you have about 6-5 players that can play there. Talk about the right wing where NONI Madueke would have expected to perform. There is Pedro Neto. He is ahead of him by any criteria in the selection pathway. Cole Palmer can play there. Estavo William is arriving, plus João Pedro, who is quite flexible and can play in those attacking roles, is also available. So NONI might have thought like, well, at Arsenal, I'm only fighting with Bukayo Saka for a place, and I'm not fighting with him. I will play. You want to play 90 minutes, 38 games in the Premier League, maybe 13 games in the Champions League? No, that won't happen. So that might have been NONI Madueke's thought at that. So, and then as a Chelsea fan, I can no longer get annoyed of a player joining a rival club, because if you look at how Chelsea are treating the players they don't want, it's just a mess. So the players, I think, have also gone away with that fear of joining the rival clubs, because should you stay here and maybe the club wants you no more, they will just tell you, please do not even return to the training grounds. You saw what happened to Trevor Chalobah and Conor Gallagher last season. So that is something to worry about for the players, and I think they can now leave Chelsea without fear. I personally would very be okay with the players going where maybe they feel they would be valued, given that NONI Madueke had direct talks with the Arsenal manager before going there. It really gives you that confidence that maybe he was given assurance. Aside that, Chelsea are in the market in many ways. George Petrovic will be joining Bournemouth for £25 million. Chelsea signed him for just 12 2 years ago. And under Mauricio Pochettino, he appeared to have grabbed the number one goalkeeper position for Chelsea, but when he left, Enzo Maresca reinstalled Robert Sanchez, and apparently George Petrovic was loaned to a sister club, Strasbourg, last season, where he won Player of the Season award in the for Strasbourg in the League One. And now you look at him and you're like, yeah, you went there, you showed you can. You wanted the number one spot. You wanted to be in goal. He didn't want to sit on the bench, and apparently that's why Chelsea didn't even consider taking him to the Club World Cup, because they knew they were going to sell him anyway. Good move for him. Is replacing Kepa Arrizabalaga there. We pray for all the best for him. Also, we are linked with the PSG goalkeeper Giorgio Donnarumma. He has 1 year left on his contract. He said earlier in some interviews that he is happy staying with Paris Saint-Germain, but now rumors have emerged that Chelsea could consider going in for him. Paris Saint-Germain are not willing to give him a wage rise, but after his performances last season, helping them winning the Champions League, I think he deserves a pay raise. Nevertheless, we are there today. We have the Club World Cup final against PSG, and one of the margins we have are the goalkeepers. We pray for all the best in that game, and we hope to win it. We have good players, of course, aside the goalkeeping position. Of course, even Robert Sanchez has been quite decent in this tournament. You don't want to make errors. In the final, you will be remembered so badly. But we are there. It's at the game is going to be at 2 p.m. UK time. I don't know where you will be watching the game from, but that final is surely there to be watched. Other news: Amagu joined the sister club Strasbourg again on a permanent deal. We pray for all the best for him. Of course, Chelsea will be considering selling loads of players after the Club World Cup, but we wait for that time. For now, it's the time for the final. Thank you for watching.